Shri Shri Siksastakam of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with Sanmodana Bhashyam by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and commentary by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Sloka 4. Nadanam Najanam Nasundaram Kavidam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mamajan Manijan Manishwari Bhavadat Bhaktira Hoitiki Twai. O Lord of the universe, I do not desire material wealth, materialistic followers, a beautiful wife, or fruit of activities described in flowery language. All I want, life after life, is unmotivated devotional service unto you. Sri Sanmodana Bhashyam by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Prabhupada. The sadhaka must attentively receive the sound of the holy name from the spiritual master. Thereafter, he may chant the name devoid of namapparadas. By this process, the previously mentioned four qualities will gradually appear in his heart. But if the sadhaka's attachment to sensual pleasures is not severed, his original spiritual identity cannot manifest. Thus, bhakti, the flavor of the Haladini potency, cannot be transformed into the bhava of conjugal attraction. This verse explains the pure form of sadhana bhakti in two ways. Here, sadhana bhakti means the process of chanting. The direct explanation stresses the principal symptom of bhakti, which is loving devotional service to Sri Krishna, bhava bhakti, while the expression nadanam najanam point to the attendant symptom of pure bhakti. The secondary symptom of bhakti has two concomitants: freedom from all other desires, anya bilasita sunyam, outside the path of bhakti, and the absence of the influence of karma and gyan. As long as loving devotion to Krishna, anukulyam Krishna anushilam, is encumbered by anya bilasitam, karma, jnana, yoga, and so on, bhakti cannot be uttama, exalted. It is visible merely as shadow devotion or bhakti abhas. How to cross beyond bhakti abhas. This shloka in fact reveals how this shadow bhakti is to be dissipated. It is stated here, O Lord, I do not hanker for dhanam, wealth, jnanam, following, or sundaram kavitam, beautiful poetry or literature. Here, dhanam means the wealth of piety incurred by strictly following the path of Ashram, which includes materialistic karmakanda activities and so on. Further clarified, dhanam implies all the paraphernalia, gross and subtle, required to fulfill a person's desires for sense enjoyment in this world and in heaven. The word janam indicates wife, sons, servants, subjects, friends, relatives, and so on. Education or learning is correctly defined as the culture that promotes attraction to and attachment for the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. The expression sundaram kavitam does not refer to narratives of Lord Krishna's past times or conclusive philosophical examinations of scripture or transcendental literatures or poetry. Rather, it refers to mundane literatures and compositions. Such trivia are rejected, and what is desired? The loving service of Krishna, even in birth after birth. Let it be unwavering devotion devoid of any conditions. Unconditional devotion means that which is guided by no consideration other than Krishna's satisfaction. Pure devotion never depends on liberation. In the jiva's struggle to be victorious over all the many miseries suffered in the cycle of repeated birth and death, ultimate victory lies ever beyond his capacity. It depends entirely on the Supreme Lord's will. All misery will automatically cease when, by the Lord's desire, the jiva is saved from the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, what is the use of a godless prayer for liberation that violates the precepts of pure devotion? This prayer of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expresses the soul's urgent need of bhava bhakti over all else. Without waiting for the cycle of birth and death to be stopped by the Lord's grace, let me now have unconditional devotion at Krishna's lotus feet, life after life, regardless of what my present material situation is. From the Chaitanya Charitamrita Anya Lila. As Lord Chaitanya spoke in this way, his humility increased, and he began praying to Krishna that he could discharge pure devotional service. Wherever there is a relationship of love of Godhead, its natural symptom is that the devotee does not think himself a devotee. Instead, he always thinks that he has not even a drop of love for Krishna. My dear Lord Krishna, I do not want material wealth from you, nor do I want followers, a beautiful wife, or the results of fruitive activities. I only pray that by your causeless mercy, you give me pure devotional service to you, life after life. Commentary by His Divine Grace, Senapati Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. O Lord of the universe, I have no desire for material wealth, following, or beautiful poetry. You are my object of worship and devotional service life after life. I only pray that I may have unconditional love and devotion at your lotus feet. Sundaram Kavitam refers to dharma, religious principles found in the Vedas. Dhanam means artha or wealth. Janam means wife, children, relatives, etc., who are the objects of kama, so-called love, which is actually lust. The Lord declares, I am not merely abhorred by sense gratification derived through religiosity, wealth, and lust, but I am appalled at the idea of transitory liberation from the cycle of birth and death. I do not want these four Vedic goals, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, to be the cause for my rendering service at your lotus feet. A prayer by King Kulashekhara has similarly expressed this mood of pure devotion. Persons who strictly adhere to Vedic dharma worship Surya, the sun god. Those who desire wealth worship Ganesh. Those craving carnal pleasures worship Shakti, Kali Durga. Those who strive for liberation or mukti worship Shiva, and those who worship Lord Vishnu as the source of the Vedas do so for material motives. All these grades of worshippers are contaminated by materialism and are never to be considered as pure devotees. This type of Vedic worship is known as Panchopashana, or the worship of 5 demigods. Whether it is performed with or without material desires hardly makes a difference, for such worship is in fact impersonal in any case. Lord Vishnu can be worshipped purely and properly only by unmotivated devotional service. Scriptural statements relative to this shloka. Bhavatad Bhaktiya Hoituki, causeless devotional service, from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6. O my Lord, source of all opportunities, I do not desire to enjoy in Dhruvaloka, the heavenly planets, or the planet where Lord Brahma resides, nor do I want to be supreme ruler over all the earthly planets, or the powers of mystic yoga, nor do I want liberation if I have to give up your lotus feet. From the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11. Devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things, these 3 occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the same way as pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger come simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating. From Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1. Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, down to the lowest planet, Patala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them.